Oh, Ramirez, Jose Ramirez.
Yeah, it's Jose Ramirez.
Yeah, because they had that whole big card. Jose fought, Tio fought, and
Yeah,
who fought in the main event?
but I can't remember, man.
I think it was Ryan Garcia and homeboy Rolly Romero.
I think it was.
Yeah, that was it. Rolly Romero against Ryan,
Yeah,
and yeah, Tio versus Devin. I mean, and obviously it should happen soon enough because they contemporaries. They close to the same age. You know, it's not like one is a generation or like 10 years older than the other one.
they're both in their prime now.
Right. So they should fight eventually. If not by the end of this year, definitely no later than the summer of next year.
Yeah, we're seeing the new generation of fighters come through now.
Yeah, and all of these issues that you never heard about before, their mental health and all of this other stuff. Nobody would care about that before.
Right, let's move on to our next thing. Anthony Joshua is in talks for a two-fight deal. He's talking about fighting Jared Anderson and Dillian White. Oh, dearie
Oh,
me.
why? Why?
Exactly my point. Exactly my point.
They
Why?
say he overlooked. They say he overlooked Dubois. Obviously, he did because
Ha!
Dubois stopped
Yeah,
him.
because he got his
But
ass handed to him last time, didn't he?
he should have underlooked him. Maybe would have seen some of them punches coming. No. um.
With the
But
guys who've been
yeah, I
fighting.
mean, listen. I was gonna say like I'm okay with a guy if he feels like his career isn't finished, like he wants to still prove some stuff. You know, these are fighters, so you know the mentality of theirs is different than you know, my layman brain. So you know, they're fighters. So that whole wanting to continue to fight when we as the fans like, yo, you should retire. You need to give it up.
We don't want to see him
That
get beat up.
mentality might be something. Right. No, no, we're fans of his. No, I got it. That's what I'm saying. Like it's a the fans want more from him, like want to protect his health more than he does himself, you know.
Yeah.
But because as you see, there's gonna be another one of these fighters that a few of these fighters, his peers, some of his contemporaries, AJ's contemporaries that shouldn't be fighting anymore, you know. But we'll see Chisora fight when we say, yo, he should have retired 10 years ago, 5 years ago. But he still puts on wars. I mean, that probably is going to have a big toll on him later on in life. You're going to be talking sluggish, but, you know, it's all good.
You better believe that, man.
Do you think he could beat Jared Anderson, Tom?
Who? What you're talking
AJ.
about? AJ? He should
AJ.
be able
Yeah,
to.
yeah. He should be able to, right? Especially the way Anderson looked at his last fight against, who is that, Piccoli he fought? Who did Anderson lose to?
What'd you say?
Who did Jared Anderson lose to?
The big guy, Martin Bacoli.
It was Piccoli, right, right. Yeah, so I mean he could beat him. AJ better than Piccoli. AJ beat Piccoli. I mean AJ fight Anderson and then fight Dylan White. That's a nice two fight send off retirement.
Well,
Y'all still there?
I mean, I think Jared Anderson has to go back to the drawing board.
Yeah. I mean, I'm just saying, like, as far as opponents that AJ could fight, that would be kind of like the public might view it as a legitimate threat, but in reality, is he should be able to win the fight. He shouldn't come out too damaged, especially against homeboy Dylan White. If that was his plan, Jared Anderson than Dylan White.
Well, maybe, you know. I don't know. I don't think he should fight either one of them. I mean, he's going to walk through those guys. I think those are confidence builders. But
Well, yeah. I mean,
if one of
go
those
ahead.
guys land on him and catch him and he goes down, then his whole career is shot, you know?
I mean, yeah, that's true. But you're not fighting like the fights aren't. I mean, some of them are, but the fights aren't always drawn out the way we would hope they would. I mean, think they would be. He go in there. That's true. One of those guys might clip him, but he also has the power to stop one of. He's already stopped one of them twice,
Right.
actually.
Yeah, and I
So,
think he has more left in his tank than White has.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like Dylan White as his like retirement or his last fight or whatever, that's going off in the sunset, earning him $5 million or whatever, and he could leave with that. But Jared Anderson would probably be the more dangerous fighter of the two of them. But Jared Anderson didn't look too great his last time out.
Right. Well, he got knocked out, you know.
Yeah, that definitely didn't look too good.
No, he was
So-
bullied. He was very heavily bullied in that fight.
But I'm just thinking about this. Jared Anderson was Bob Arum's boy. Like he was
yeah.
like his American guy, and he lost the fight. And now they're talking about having him fight a Matchroom guy. Bob Arum and Matchroom, I mean, they've had fights in the past, but they weren't always the best of friends when it came to
Hey, you
putting
know,
fights
those other
together.
guys, Jared Anderson and what's his name, White, they're in a bad position. If I was Jared Anderson, I definitely wouldn't take that fight. But because it's too dangerous for him. Because AJ still is an excellent boxer and has punch. His chin is not good, but still, that you're talking about. Jared Anderson has to get lucky, and he punches wide.
AJ is definitely better, more fundamentally sound than Jared Anderson. And if they was to just fight, and AJ goes behind the jab, throws his ones and twos, he could beat Anderson with no problem. I mean, I think he could beat Anderson with no problem because he's not oversized. It's not like Jared Anderson is bigger than him, taller than him, or anything like that. They're about the same height. So, so that should, and AJ got way more experience on the big stage than Anderson. Anderson's biggest stage, he lost.
I got disconnected.
Is Nathan still around?
Yeah, he wants us to go off to Fraser Clark.
There's trash can.
It's full. You want to put it in here? He wants us to move on to that.
Okay, to the next one.
Yeah. We're talking too much about it. I think we decided, Jared Anderson shouldn't fight him. Right?
Yeah, it's more dangerous for Jared. Right, it's more dangerous for Jared Anderson than it is for AJ, in my opinion.
Yeah, and also Dillian White, if he fights him, be bigger bunny in the UK, but Dillian White can't. He's going to have to score a really Hail Mary punch to beat him. All right, let's move on.
Yeah, all right, and I think I did these next couple of things to kind of segue into each other. That one was that. What's the next one? Dylan White pulled out of a fight, right?
Yeah, he did. Now, that may have something to do with the AJ thing, right?
I'm thinking that it could be. Or I think, if I'm not mistaken, the article stated something like this was a quick fight. He wanted. I think they're gonna have a fight for him in August. He gonna fight in August. It wouldn't be AJ if he was to fight in August. I mean, according to the last article, AJ's plan of fighting him in 2 fights, it wouldn't be in August. So Dylan White could fight somebody a better fit, because I think this fight that he was supposed to fight tomorrow, right? Wasn't he supposed to fight tomorrow?
Yeah, he was. He
And he
was.
pulled
So
out. So I think it's because the guy that he was going to fight. Yeah, I think the fight was initially to keep him busy, but then they got him another fight later on, and he wanted to be ready for the August fight as opposed to fighting this now and then having to turn around and try to get the name in August.
mm.
But who did they say he was going to fight in
Nathan
August?
says White is
He
completely
was looking
shot.
Yeah, but check it out. Look, I'm not sure if this is in the articles too, but they're talking about a Coley fighting White.
That's right. But, I think if McCauley trains, he could beat him no problem. Because last
That'll
fight he
be
had
that.
lost some
that
weight, and he went after what's his name? Okay, he went after the Nigerian. What's his name? Ajaba, and that was a draw.
right,
But you could see him towards the end of
right,
the
right.
fight, him just bullying Ajaba and pushing him back and unloading on the ropes. And so,
You know what? That would be a nice one. A Coley versus Dylan White, and whoever wins. Now that'd be a good one for AJ's second fight.
right.
But yeah, that's the fight. I think that they're going to try to. That's the fight a Coley's wanting is against White. I'm not sure if White want to fight a Coley, as eagerly as a Coley want to fight him.
Well, that would lead us right over to Fabio Wardley, who's coming up. He's going to be fighting Ung, and
Yup.
he's a real power puncher.
Is this for some type of ranking or some type of
Yeah, it's some kind of something
elimination?
continental
I thought
something, because he has a belt, I think, from the last fight.
Is it like a European belt or something like that? A
it's
British
like
belt?
something like that, continental. But you see, the guy he's fighting. The thing about Wardley is, I mean, he punches so hard. We got to see somebody take him to the well, and see if he could last.
Right. You got to have him fight somebody that could take a punch from him and throw one back just as hard to see.
Yeah. Well, none of those English fighters have been able to really do that. I mean, he has been tagged hard, but he's always come back.
Yeah,
So,
he's doing more than I thought he would. He looks better than I thought he would look, in my opinion.
I mean, what would you think he would do to White at this point? I mean, I think he would knock White out.
Yeah, I think so too. I think we'll see, because this mentality, I want to see what he does on his next fight coming back. Dylan White, he supposedly has a better mentality now than he did in the past few years. He's supposed to have a better mindset, but they always say that in interviews and things like that. We'll see how he looks in the ring, whether or not he looks rejuvenated a little bit or anything like that. But
well, I don't know about that.
Yeah, Wardley should be able to beat him. I think Wardley could fight guys like Joe Joyce.
Oh yeah, I think he would beat him easily. But I would have him stay away from Parker for now.
Yeah, maybe Chisora. Chisora would be a good one because Chisora could take a punch. He might still be standing. So Chisora might be a decent fight for Wardley. Yeah, I'm looking at British level dudes that'll be a good I mean British dudes that'll be a good fight for him, a decent scrap. Like I said, Chisora, Joe Joyce, he could probably beat Joe Joyce, but that would be a nice selling fight, I think. I don't think he'll beat Dubois, AJ. I think he could beat Dylan White.
Not
There's
at this
another
point,
British
no.
dude.
But I mean, there will come a time where they'll have to go up against Dubois. If Dubois, even if he loses to Usyk, they're going to have to fight at some point.
Yeah, no, that one would be a good one. I just think Dubois is like a step above him at the moment.
Oh yeah.
So so he would beat him. I think AJ beats Wardley too at the wait.
What about
Let me
Ajit? What about Ajit?
Oh,
Yeah.
Caballel?
Yeah.
That would be a good one. That
Yeah,
would
I
be a
think
good one.
that
I
would
mean,
be a guy who could take him to the well.
yeah, Caballel would be a good one.
Yeah.
At first, I was just looking at the British scene, but yeah, definitely there'll be some European fighters that he could fight. Um, like you said, Caballel will be a nice one.
I think he could handle Ergovich at this point.
Hergovich would be a decent fight too. I wouldn't mind that one. I wouldn't really want to see him against like just to be fighting people like Bacoli and Zhang or nothing like that. I want to see him fight um good fights. I don't want it to be just a slugfest. Even though I've watched those. I've watched those with
And you
some
go,
fascination too.
oh!
Yeah. Like I'm not gonna lie, I wouldn't mind the slugfest, but to show your skills, you might not want to be in a slugfest.
So Nathan says he picks Wardley to win in 5-round stoppage in this fight. I think he's right.
Yeah, I think so too. I'm going with Nathan on this one. 5
So
rounds.
what's the next subject here?
I think it's Wilder.
Wilder, really?
Yeah, Wilder got a fight coming up.
Oh man, that makes me sad, man.
But this fight is a low, like he ain't fighting no big name. He ain't fighting in no big place. He fighting in Kansas, I think it is.
It better be against the guy he can that's slow and
Yeah,
that doesn't
I
hit
think
hard.
I forgot the guy's name, but yeah, I think that was the purpose. Like they want to get him a win under his belt.
And then he
Get him back.
retires. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
I
possible.
I don't want to see him get hurt. He's already hurt. And I don't want to see
Yeah,
him get
Tyson.
worse.
Yeah, Tyson Fury had already said that he think he should retire. Tyson Fury supposedly retired also, but
Well, he's
Tyson
out of
Fury.
retirement.
Oh, he's pushing for who is? Hello.
Can you hear me? Yo.
Yeah, I'm here.
Yeah, Tyson, he says he's coming back. I don't know what for. Do you think people want to see a third Usyk fight?
Nah, he might be trying to fight AJ.
Well, that's a good money fight.
Yeah, I think that might be it. Like if he does fight somebody, it'll be AJ. I don't think he's gonna fight
We'll
Usyk
see.
again.
We'll see what happens. Let's go on to
Yeah.
the next one. What do you got
What is
next?
this? What is this one? Let me see what we got. Hold on 1 second. That was Keyshawn Davis loses his title. He didn't make weight.
I was just watching the Art of War, and that guy is like a little too loose.
Who's
I
that?
mean, he should move up in weight. I mean, there's no reason
He-
for him. There's no reason why he shouldn't make the weight.
well, supposedly by reading the article, he said that this was his last fight at lightweight. He was moving up.
Right.
Um, I'm not.
I'm,
I think. I. I mean, this is sad that fighters would have to do this. There should be some type of regulations on this, but he didn't want to lose a fight.
he just won the
So
title, right?
yeah, so he's basically saying like I'm too small for lightweight. I need to move up.
Then he
I
shouldn't
was
take the
gonna
fight.
I was gonna defend my title, but I couldn't make the weight. And I wasn't gonna kill myself making the weight so that I wound up, damaging or, minimizing my chances of winning because I'm drained or whatever the case is. Now I agree they shouldn't have the fight if you can't do the thing, but then that's boxing is a weird thing. You got people buying tickets to see the fight. You got people, invested in the fight for the day before it to be canceled. People got flights, they hotel rooms, they got to
Okay, but
rebook and all that.
how much did he have to pay for missing weight?
I'm not sure what that those be agreements. That should be a universal penalty. Like if you a pound over, it should be 100,000 like per pound over the weight that you are. Because he missed it by 4 pounds, so it wasn't like a pound or 2 pounds. He missed it like I ain't even trying to go kill myself to lose this weight. So I don't, I don't. That would be my assumption on why he chose not to push himself to get under 135 based on the article. He's like, I'm moving up next fight anyway. I would have to vacate this title anyway. I don't want to lose and then mess up my chances because the way things are, if you lose a fight, it seems to be the end of your career unless you got a certain name. but but yeah, he because he's looking good too. Like he was I thought was the new crop of lightweights, but I guess he's not small enough to be a lightweight. He got to be a welterweight, eventually a middleweight by the end of his career. Can y'all hear me? All right. Well, the next one was the Josh Kelly winning in 2 rounds. I mean, not even 2 rounds. He wins in 2 minutes. I'm saying 2 rounds. He wins in 2 minutes. I didn't get a chance to see the fight, but it's a good win for him. I think what he fight a super welterweight. He fight a super welterweight, right? 154, right? Did you see the Josh Kelly fight?